What's up? This is going to be a fifth house Leo reading. This is the houses series, but yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while. I'm going to do all the home signs. For instance, fifth house Leo, sixth house Virgo, seventh house Libra, since those are the ruling signs over those kind of generic baseline astrological houses. The reason I say that is because obviously there's going to be a different astrological setup based on each of our personal birth charts, meaning what houses were in what astrological signs at the time of our birth. But this is going to be a more free-flowing interpretation, so this could be for Leo and or all signs. Fifth house has to do with romance. Again, Leo is the ruler of the fifth house in astrology, the ruling sign of fifth house in astrology. Fifth house has to do with romance. I'm looking at my notes in the background. I just have a generic astrological chart, meaning 1 through 2 in order, or 1 through 12 in order of the zodiac from Aries to Pisces. Those are the rulers of each of the house sectors. So for instance, Aries rules first house, Taurus rules second, and so on and so forth, as it pertains to the seasonal progression of each zodiac. So we're at fifth house Leo. This has to do with romance, love, affairs, play, creativity, fertility, creativity. I don't know why it sounded weird coming out of my mouth. Fertility, childlike spirit, joy, self-expression, drama. This is, I like to call it fun, relaxation, play, vacation, all that good stuff as well. Summertime energy. Pride, is involved, I think, when I think of Leo. But, and it's not always necessarily bad. But let's see what energies want to come out for those particular keywords that I just listed. Again, this could be for Leo and or all signs, as we all have a fifth house in our astrological chart. Let's see what wants to come out here. Guys, feel free to like, share, follow, leave comments, subscribe, reach out for a personal reading. $2 a minute. Done over video, email, phone, text, chat, IM, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Check out Instagram, TikTok as well. I'm trying to upload more original content there. But for the most part, it's the same content as you see on YouTube, the 30-second daily snippets, or the daily snipes as I like to call them. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages. Fifth house Leo for romance. Let's see what wants to come off for romance. Again, this could be applied during Leo season and or timeless. It's currently Leo season at the time of this recording, July 22nd, 2021. Feel free to apply it when you gravitate towards this video. For romance, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is holding on to something. The negative connotation is holding on too tightly, not allowing for more to come in. Okay, but it could also represent stability. Obviously, this is a general reading, so it's going to be different in different circumstances and situations for people. In this case, it could be holding on too tightly, not taking a leap of faith in regards to love. Full card in the reverse. The next keyword is love itself, in particular love affairs. So let's see what comes out for love affairs. Not being keen, not being objective, not seeing things from the observer perspective. You might be clouded in your judgment here with the High Priestess in reverse. Got an incoming call, so I'm going to put this video on pause. I'll probably stitch it together. 1 second. Okay, so this is going to be a continuation of fifth house Leo. Sorry, I had to pause that video and stitch it together. We talked about holding on with the Four of Pentacles too tightly, not taking a calculated leap of faith. As far as love affairs, the next keyword that I see in this kind of neutral fifth house astrological graph that I'm looking at using as a guideline, you got the High Priestess in reverse. I mentioned not being keen, being clouded by your judgment, not being removed and objective. Remember, all our lives we're taught that we're this person, we're this personality, we are our thinking habits, we are our feeling habits. Essentially, yes, to some degree that amounts to who we identify as, but really truly we're the conscious slate, we're the conscious awareness field in which, all of that plays out. So you do have free will at the end of the day. My advice for the High Priestess in reverse is start to incorporate that higher sense, that higher level of mindfulness, that self-inquiry, that self, trying to figure out why certain patterns play out, certain fears, certain triggers. Excuse me, my advice has always been to, when fears or limitations, emerge, to always offset that with love. Even if you have to chant a mantra like love, love, love quietly in the back of your mind, you could have an open conversation with someone and still chant love, love, love in the back of your mind. Keep it as an anchor word, something to maintain focus. Or confidence, 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 whatever's going to help you. But I think a lot of it is, we're so busy running away or filled with our own delusions that, we start to think and fully wholesale buy and invest in all of our thoughts and feelings. And at some point of the level of the game of life, we need to know that that's not true. It's skewed and it's biased. Okay? If not for, your personal ego's sake, then for the sake of your mind is just fundamentally, wired for your survival, not your happiness. So you kind of have to carve that path out manually. So focus on keenness as far as High Priestess in reverse. Practice meditation, practice mindfulness, self-awareness. Again, not logging into each one of your thoughts or feelings. They create a feedback loop, so it feels very real, This is how I feel, this is what it is. Maybe it's sadness or fear, but again, those are all concepts and constructs. As soon as we give a label to it, as opposed to kind of sitting with the feeling, processing it, letting it come and go. I know it might not seem fun, but again, spiritual teachers like Mooji, shout him out on YouTube, Mooji, check him out on YouTube, rather. He would say, who is it not fun for? It's not fun for the concept of you as a personality, but for the being, for the absolute, it's just another thing emerging in its field. Remember, you are that absolute. You are that space in which it emerges. It comes and goes. That feeling only has power if you give it a narrative, if, I did this and that, and I have this long history, and that is you feeding the narrative by giving your focus and awareness. So we have to start to undo all that stuff that we've been conditioned to do. I'm not good in love, or I'm bad at love, or that's all nonsense. It's all a narrative. And when your mind is being told that, then it's going to confirmation biased, try to create that reality for you. Whereas if you say, whatever your affirmation is, I'm good at love, I'm happy, I'm whole, I'm complete. Typically, one way to hijack that feedback loop is to focus on the state of being that you want to feel already. And that's how you quickly magnetize quantumly. So if you want to feel like you're in a twin flame relationship, if you're happy, whole, and complete, if you're in the marriage of a lifetime, then you have to feel that, okay? People will say, that's delusional, you're lying to yourself, but where were they when you were trying to, be successful in your life and carve out your own path, Where were they when you were in the trenches trying to figure this life out for yourself? So point being is that, many people have a lot of negativity to inject in regards to how you perceive things, how you project things, but it is a very useful tool. Obviously not if you're projecting negativity, but it's very useful to start to train the body-mind feedback loop mechanism to be like, yes, I'm in a happy, committed relationship, and then start to act as if and take the actions of somebody that is in a happy, committed relationship. Take the steps. It's not just going to happen out there externally for you. Okay? At a certain level of this game we call life, everything in fact is going to be a reflection of the energy that we're coming from and that we're emitting. So if you're coming from the heart, if you're coming from love, if you're coming from happiness, then you'll see that play out. Okay? And when life squeezes you, something sweet will come out because you will have cultivated something sweet within you. Whereas if you're a bad, ugly person inside, you're just a nasty person, when life squeezes you, that's going to come out. Your character is going to be revealed. So better to cultivate something beautiful and honest within your own heart. So that's for love affairs. For play, because again, play is a virtue of fifth house astrology, Leo. For play, we have Ace of Swords in the reverse, internal reflection, disillusionment, also attracting your soulmates, someone to play with. Five of Wands is Leo energy. Shout out summertime, fifth house Leo energy. Could be conflict, could be pettiness, could be competitive sports, good sportsmanship, good natured. Doesn't have to be negative. It can just be quite literal, friendly competition coming out here, but attracting the right people. Internal reflection and clarity, Ace of Swords, new beginnings to the type of people that you want to surround yourselves with. Creativity or yourself with, I should say. For creativity, what's wanting to come out is, let's see, Knight of Wands in the reverse. This is a need to express energy, extra energy in a healthy, constructive way. Obviously a creative outlet. The Knight of Wands typically is like my exercise, yoga or going swimming or hitting the heavy bag, doing some boxing. Whatever your kind of positive creative outlet is for creativity. It could be a physical creative expression. But also, creativity does burn energy as a whole. So if you're creating something, it's going to be a good place to put your energy. If you find that you have extra energy. Like I said, Leo is a playful spirit in its best nature. In its worst nature, it's kind of ego-driven. So make sure that you don't take it entirely so seriously. Make sure that you're not taking yourself entirely so seriously. As far as fertility, rest up, meditate. Four of Swords in the upright, that's Libra energy, needing to get in heart and mind coherence. Make sure that your heart and mind is on the same page, that the mind is not just running the show and casting illusions here, okay? Especially if it comes to family planning, all things fertility. For childlike spirit, remembering to keep in tune with that childlike nature, that childlike wonder and awe and fulfillment and happiness. That if you let it, the world will try to kind of suppress, or at least kind of like the mainstream, world of expectation and ego and all that jazz. As far as joy here in this context is being replaced with worry. But again, that's your free will. Even if it's a conditioned response, typically it still traditionally falls in the realm of your free will. It's just a matter of, do you know your own free will? Do you know your strength? Do you know your power to choose your state of being? Many people don't, unfortunately, but this is a clear kind of juxtaposition between worry, being in a state of worry, even if it's just a conditioned knee-jerk response, and stopping that and say, no, I'm going to pick a higher vibratory energy like joy. For self-expression, we have death in the reverse. This is a rebirth energy. So you could be revisiting something that you used as an outlet for expression, communicating who you are, your little personal corner of the world, which, yes, has value. It allows perspective for others to use and love. Ten of Pentacles, in the reverse came out for drama. This is coming out of a cornerstone built upon foundation, an institution, maybe a company, maybe a legacy. Salvaging the relationship, crying over spilled milk, but also possibly trying to strike out on your own, watering more of your own solo endeavors, maybe your own endeavors of self-expression. So maybe this Leo season you're going to want to be working more on that. We have, I believe we have Mars just left. I was going to say Mars in Leo. Okay, so Mars is in Leo until the 29th, so about a week. There's action and motivation, the planet of Mars in Leo, so there's expressiveness in that regard. The Sun is in Leo until the 2nd of August, so this has to do with self and identity. So starting to peel back the layers of self and identity in regards to romance. What's my romance style? What's my play style? What's my childlike spirit? Where's my joy? Where's my fun? My joie de vivre, as the French say. In essence, that's what it's all about. All the ego, personality stuff is what gets in the way of that. So, and as they say in the Bible, only those with like a childlike spirit are gonna be allowed into the kingdom of heaven. So it's that innocence. So you get back to that through the spiritual path, through the kind of undoing of the conditioned self. For those of you who are ready for that, you know what I mean when I talk about that in that way. Again, for those of you that are curious about that, check out Mooji, Mooji on YouTube. But I'm gonna leave it there. I know that's a lot. Leave questions and comments. Questions and comments if you have questions or comments. Reach out for one-on-one reading. $2 a minute. Like I said, phone, video, email, IM, social media, chat, messenger, whatever you feel most comfortable with. I promise it'll be fruitful. We can look at your particular situation, so it'll be more kind of tailored to if you have any specific questions that you want to use tarot to look at. Love you guys. Thank you for watching this content.